I've just had the worst week here, to be honest. Like this past week, like they're bad. Like I'm used to having like not great weeks, but I've had a rough week. It's not been a good week here for me. Like my studying is not going well at all. Like I don't go out anymore really, like at all. If I do, it's basically always by myself. Like I ask, quite often like my roommates if they want to come out with me. They don't come out anymore. I think Jesse has like no money left at this point, because he mentioned he showed me in his bank account he only has like, I don't know, like $5, and that was a while ago, and he said it was like his birthday and he was hoping to get some money, but I guess he didn't, or he spent it all already, because he has like no money at all left, so that's great for him, I guess. And Chang just doesn't, they're just very apathetic, like they just don't want to do anything, which is like, on the one hand, it's not like, it's not like I'm doing anything, of note on these nights out that we have. It's not like I'm meeting girls and stuff, but it's like now I just like either have the choice of like going out by myself or like just rotting alone, because you guys like, I don't know anyone else by name at my university, like literally not a single person I know by name except my two roommates. So for me it's like I have like a choice of like stay home or go out like by myself, and it's like it's just it really, it's like pick your poison. It doesn't matter, it doesn't make a difference really, in the long-term effect is the same thing really. Like you still go to sleep by yourself, you're still in the bed alone, so it doesn't really matter if you just like play video games all day or if you go out, it's the same thing really. Like my studying isn't going well either. There've just been like some weird things. There's no order to talk about these in particular. It's just like weird shit. One thing I really I really don't like understand why people do, and I don't like care for at all. It's like just how pretentious people are. Like especially the lecturers and the teachers. Like they'll take every opportunity they can to like kind of flex their their knowledge and stuff over you. All of these like beta bucks guys who are talking about this shit. Like we had this one professor giving a lecture, and he was like explaining some like word, like what it meant, and then he was like, oh, and in German you'd say this, and he's like, oh, and in French you'd call it this, and he was just talking in a bunch of different languages. It's like, why are you doing that? Like why are you like, are you trying to show off? Because no one cares. Like really, no, like not a single person cares. It's like, do I have to tell you that in 5 different languages for you to, take me seriously? Or we had this female lecturer explaining to us the other day how on the tests we're gonna do, the questions, you don't get like, I don't know what the word would be, but you don't get like penalised for getting answers wrong. Like your final score, if you get like a bunch of questions wrong, it doesn't take away from the ones you get right or whatever. And she was explaining like the reason she's doing that is because there's like research that shows that it's a proven fact that women do worse on those kind of tests 'cause they're more risk averse or something. And it's like, I could sit here and like talk about how dumb that is, and like it is, don't get me wrong, like it is stupid, but I just don't care. Like I really don't care. Because like the whole gender war stuff and the men versus, well, like I just don't care anymore. Like there was a time like I was very passionate about that, but I just like, it's just, yeah, like it's over, it really is over. But I just like, the only thought I had about it was like, it didn't make sense to me because the purpose of the tests is to determine if like the content, right? So it doesn't make any sense to me why when you're thinking about whether or not to have this on the test, or anything on the test for that matter, it doesn't like make sense to me why you would be thinking about like what is the gender gap going to be, like the only thing that would matter surely is like how accurately it, can tell if people are taking this information in or not. But I'm not running university, so I guess what do I know, right? We had this thing in the lab like last week, I guess, where it was like a practical, I guess that's what they call it, but we just basically like played with insects all day. Well, not all day, but like for an hour. And like it was alright, I guess, but it was just like, there was just some brutal things, I don't know. There was this like box of insects, I don't know what they were, but they were like little bugs, right? And there were like 2 males and 1 female that they put in this little box. I mean, you already know where this is going. and the males were fighting over the females, and I watched them. One of the males went up to the female, and the other one ran and basically rammed into it, and it ran away to the other side of the box. And then the other male literally got on top of the female and started basically having sex right in front of this other one. And it's I know they're just bugs, but you can kind of see. I was just looking over the classroom, and it's there's all manner of people there. There's a bunch of girls, and there's Chads and Sub-5s and Stacys and Giga Stacys, and there's a whole variety of people there, and it's really the same. We're just animals. We literally are just animals. The same rules apply to us. People think we're above animals. We're not. It's the same thing. It really is the same thing. People are oh, we're living in the human world. The rules of sexual attraction don't apply. It's all about personality. It's not. It's not. Psychologically, we're still the same. We're still the same creature. One thing that was really awkward in the lab, actually, I was walking around the tables, because they had it all laid out, so you had to get up and go to the different tables to see the different things, right? And there was this one really awkward moment. I was standing in the aisle, and I was just walking down, and this girl who I'd asked out 2 months ago, I guess, was there, and I've talked about her before. I made a video about it, and I'll put it up in the corner now. But last time I was in the lab, I did see her, but she didn't see me. But the thing is, she actually did see me today, and we made eye contact for a second or two, and it was just really awkward. It was very very awkward. But I don't know. I don't have a reputation in this class to ruin, and I don't have it's not I'm gonna be awkward in front of people now, because I didn't talk to anyone anyway, And it's just it's just very lonely, everyone is just there for themselves, that sounds obvious, but it's if people have no interest in being in a relationship with you, you can tell, or maybe you can't tell. If someone wants to be in a relationship with you, you can tell. So you can also tell when they don't, because they're not going to make any effort to talk to you. And that's how it feels. It's it's just the same thing. It's the same thing I've always gone through in these situations at school, or at work and stuff. This time I got sent to basically to a young offenders rehab camp, or a drug rehab camp in Scotland, even though I didn't do anything wrong. My mum just sent me there for some reason. And I'd try and talk to the people there, and we'd all be sitting at a table and stuff, and I'd say hi to people and stuff. And this is years ago, before I had my channel. I wasn't blue pilled, but I'd go up to these people and say hello, and they would just ignore me. They would literally say not a word back. And I remember being at school talking to people, and they would just stare back at me. I'd go up to some kid, and I'd be hi, and then they just look back, and it's what did I do wrong? That's what I was thinking. But the thing is, the brutal thing now I know is I didn't do anything wrong. It's just you're born to fail, you're born to or you're born to win. It's that simple. And it's just another example of it in the lab. It's another example, or in the classroom, and you see all these people hanging out, talking together, laughing and being friends, and you're never going to experience it. I honestly don't think I'm ever going to have a friend again in my life at this point. I wouldn't consider my roommates to really be my friends, to be honest. It doesn't really count. Because I know people will be oh, well, at least you get out with your roommates. But the thing is, first of all, I don't really anymore. And the thing about my roommates as well is, I talked about it a lot, at the start of the academic year or whatever. But all three of us have only been out together probably 5 times in 3 months, And a lot of the time, nothing happens at all, So it's not and it's not these people like me. They have no choice but to hang out with me. We only see each other now in the kitchen when we're going in and out. And of course these guys, Chang and Jesse, I'm pretty sure there's some guy in the comments who thinks they're fucking, which maybe that's true. I would be very surprised, to be honest. But the thing is, they obviously went to Jesse's hometown without me, and it's they didn't even tell me they were going, which is whatever. They just did stuff without me, and maybe they're fucking, or maybe they just, I don't know, but. It shows I don't know what I'm doing wrong, because I do try my hardest as well. It's the thing, I actually make an effort, and it always falls flat on its face. And the thing is, Chang was talking to me about getting a house next year, because obviously you've got to get accommodation or whatever, and I actually did get an email saying hey, you need to start thinking about getting your second year accommodation, where you're going to live, because they kick people out basically of the apartments if there's not enough space for the new kids or whatever to come in. So he was talking about getting another house, but apparently he looked and it's all all the availability is taken up, and like, yeah, it's a university town and it's a small town, but it's only like November, you know. It's not like, it's just weird to me that it's already been snatched up, but according to him there's like nothing left available. So I don't know what I'm going to do next year, so whatever. I know there's like a opportunity on my course specifically, like you can go abroad and study abroad. Like you can like do like research somewhere else, and the school will pay for that. I don't know, you probably have to pay a bit, but like, maybe that's what I'll have to do, I don't know. Like, I mean, it doesn't sound so bad. I can go to America maybe. I know they run, I could spend like a year in the USA. I guess that'd be kind of interesting. Fuck, maybe, why not, right? But the thing is, like, even if a house was available with him, it's just like, I don't want to rely on other people, you know. Like, I don't want friendships, I don't want like a relationship, really. It's like I do, but the thing is, like, every time I have one, like, every time you're reliant on someone else, they'll usually let you down. I found, to be honest, to be true in my life, definitely. I don't know, like, I don't see myself ever having a friend again, to be honest, at this point. One thing I found interesting, actually, was, I don't even know why I'm pointing this out, because it's not that interesting, but bear in mind I'm doing, like, a science course at university, and at the end of this lab thing with these insects, we got asked to fill out a questionnaire, like, are you scared of insects now? Do you understand? You know, it was like a whole thing. And at the bottom it asked for like your details, and one of the questions was, what gender do you identify as? Which I found kind of, I don't know, not even funny. Like, I don't know, who cares really? It doesn't, like I said, this stuff doesn't matter to me, but maybe someone will get a kick out of it, I don't know. This was so brutal. This happened to me like last week, at the end of last week. I think this might have been the same lecture actually, where the woman said like they were talking about like gender disparities in the share, and like I can't be there for an hour. I can't sit still for like an hour. Like some of these lectures are like back to back 2 hours, 3 hours, by the way. Like I can't do that shit. Maybe it's like ADHD or something, or like autism, I don't know. I just can't sit there for that long. So I got up and I like left, and first of all, as I left, I was like in the middle of a row, so I had to like go over someone. And this kid, he was sitting like right on the end of the row, right? There's like the seat, and then next to the seat is the aisle that leads down to the exit, right? So he could have got up and stood out of it, but instead, for some reason, he just like stood up. And then the seats are like the kind of seats that like flip up when you're not sitting down on them. Like you sometimes see them at like trains or like stadiums and stuff. They're those kind of seats. So he stood up, so the seat went like up, and then he like leaned against it. So I had to like squeeze in between him and the desk, and it was just a bit like, I don't know why he did that. So bear in mind like how the auditorium works is like it's a big hall with like a sloping back, so all the seats like slope down towards the front of the class. So if you're at the back, you can see everything, right? So my point is like if you're standing right at the front of the class, everyone can see you, which is important for what's about to happen. So I was like walking down these stairs about to leave, and like as I was walking down, I like my foot like missed where the step was, like literally the last step. And I slipped, and like I caught myself like before I fell, but like it was really obvious. And like I looked behind me, and like everyone probably saw, you know, and I'm sure people were like everyone was like laughing to themselves, but specifically like I noticed these two girls. It looked exactly like the laughing girl like Wojak meme, you know, that one where they're like two girls laughing. It looked exactly like that. They just like, I made eye contact with like both of them, and they just burst out laughing at me. And like it's just so brutal, you know. It's like, because it's like the thing is as well, it's like I'm used to being ignored. Like everything I've talked about and everything that I do, you know, tend to talk about, like I'm kind of used to that. But the thing about slipping is that's just clumsy, you know, that could happen to anyone. But it's just like, it feels like whatever I do I fail at, or like I'm like a fuck up at everything. I don't know, like it was just like a very humiliating thing, and I just like left after that. And you know, I know like to some people that wouldn't be that big of a deal, and honestly to me it wasn't that big of a deal, because it's like, again, I don't know who these people are. I don't know anyone, and I don't know like literally a single, I'm not exaggerating, I don't know a single person by name in any of my lectures at all, you know. And there's like 100 kids, probably over 100 kids. I was there today, you know, like I was sitting in the lecture hall, and there were these kids look like school shooters. They look like the emo kids from South Park. And they came in, you know, leather jackets and like black beanies and shit on, like two guys, two girls probably, and they were like sitting down on the seats like next to me. Like the aisle is like, it has seats coming up, and I was sitting right at the top, and they just sat down next to me, because there aren't even enough seats available. That's how many people there are. And all of these people, like easily over 100 people, they all already know each other. They've already made their friend groups. The thing is like, a lot of these kids know each other from their accommodation, or I don't know how they know each other, to be honest. Because like these kids come in, they're normies, they're acting like they've known each other their whole lives, and it's like maybe some of them are friends from high school or whatever, and they came to the same university, but I don't think all of them. I don't know how the hell they do it, I really don't. Like, I get like lookism and like being a sub 5, you're never going to have that, like I understand that, but I don't get how normies do it. I really don't get how people make friends with each other. And of course, you can point out like all of these friendships are like two-faced and stuff, and they're just friendships of convenience. I would argue that there's not really such a thing as like relationships that aren't out of convenience. Like, people are only going to have you around as long as you provide something for them. That's like, even if you're like a Chad, that's just the pill you've got to take. That, like, the whole red pill shit, because people on the red pill will like agree with that, and they'll be like, yeah, so you need to provide something, bro. If you want a woman, you need to provide. And it's like, just like, why do I need to provide something? Why can't I just be me and have someone, like, it sounds so blue-pilled, but why can't you have someone love you for who you are, And it's just like, it's the brutal pill that like no one will ever love you unless you do something for them. And if you're born like where it's impossible for you to do something for someone else, it's over for you, Like, I can't even do something for myself, let alone anyone else, So what hope in hell do I have? Well, none, and that's why it's over, It really is over. I don't know, man. It's been like I said, it's been a brutal week. The only thing that's going well is like, well, not even well, but the only thing that's been going a bit better is I had a meeting with my tutor like the other week, and I actually like emailed him. I emailed him ages ago, like a month ago, like asking for help, and he just like, I guess he didn't see the email. We had a meeting like with the whole tutor group, and I stayed at the end, and I basically like talked to him, and I was like, hey, I need some help. And like, I've been saying this to like people for a long time. Like, I said it to my mum, and like, I guess she was nice about it, but she didn't do anything. I say it to like teachers and stuff, and like, just, it's really hard to get help, because it's like, I don't know anyone here as well, so it's like, I have no idea what's going on. And maybe you can say, I'm out of my depth at university, like, I'm not smart enough to be here, and maybe that's true, but it's like, I just want a bit of help, is all I wanted. And I was in this meeting with him, and I basically was like, hey, I'm struggling here, I want some help. And I did bring up the thing about like changing my major to him. I talked about that a little bit in like another video I made. People might remember, I don't know. And what I've decided for now is like, I'm probably not going to change my major, because it doesn't really make a difference. Like, the only reason I was thinking about that is because of two reasons, and that's like employability, which is something like Chang brought up to me. He was like, hey, this other major, maybe you'll get better employment opportunities or whatever. But to be honest, that's not something I care about, because it's like, all of these kind of science degrees, it's like, you can either get a job working as like a researcher, or you don't get a job at all, like, and you just get like a normie job. That's like, to be like brutally honest, and it's like, and to be honest, that's like years out anyway. And like, honestly, at this rate, like, I'm not trying to be dramatic or anything, like, but I don't even know if I'm going to be alive at that point, like, genuinely. So like, that's not something like I'm really taking into account. Like, I'm not saying employability doesn't matter, but I'm just saying it's like, it's solving a problem way down the road when I've got 100 problems already to deal with. It's like, it doesn't matter. And the only other reason I was thinking of changing my major was because I guess like, I just thought it would be easier, I don't know, like this other one. But the thing is, it would all be the same it's not that I struggle with the content really, it's that I just don't know what to do. Like, I don't know where, like, I mean, like, physically, logistically, literally, I don't know where to go. I don't know where my classes are. I don't know like when my tests are. Like, I have no planning ability. I have no like organizational skills or anything like that at all. I mean, just look at my second channel. I've been trying to make this fucking video, like a cope, passion project for like a year now, and I still haven't done it. It proves I'm a huge procrastinator, all of this shit. And like, arguably this stuff is my fault, and like, I'm not going to sit here and say like I made no mistakes. Like, I should have gone to every lecture since the start of the year. Like, that's true. That's really the only thing I think I did wrong though, because it's like, I'm asking for help, and like, I went to this guy and I was like, hey, I need help, and he was like, well, at university we expect a certain amount of independent study and stuff. And it's like, I know, but you're my tutor, and that's like, I was really desperate. And like, to be completely honest, like really brutally honest, like when I came out of that meeting, like I just felt like crying and banging my head against the wall, honestly. Like, that's the point I was, because it's like, that was like my last resort, And And that's like all my mum kept saying to me. She's like, oh, speak to your tutor, speak to your tutor. And I had this stupid fucking meeting with the disability like people at the school, like the special brigade, and obviously like they completely missed the point, because the only reason I even got into that meeting in the first place that my mum signed me up to is because I'm blind in one of my eyes, right? So I technically have like a disability, like I qualify, I guess. So they spoke to me, and like I voiced my concerns or whatever. I was like, hey, you know, like I don't know what to do, I just need a bit of help, I need like some questions answered and like some direction, you know. And they were like, oh, we'll get like a support plan, we'll get like a personal learning support plan in place for you, so you like, you know, we can help you. And like I got this email to me like 2 weeks later, and the only thing that was on it was like, you got to sit closer to the board so you can see because you're blind in one of your eyes and stuff. And it's like that's not even listening to me, you know, like that's not even close to what I was talking about. And it just shows, like, I'm not going to say they don't care, but it just shows, you know, it's pointless talking to these people, it's pointless asking for help because no one's going to give it to you, really. Like, yeah. And like I came out of this tutor meeting just none the wiser about what I was doing, like really none the wiser. So that situation hasn't really changed at all. Like, I guess it hasn't gotten worse, it hasn't gotten better either. I don't know, I really don't know what I'm going to do from here, to be honest. Like I've been trying not to become an alcoholic, to be honest, because like I gave up smoking. I haven't smoked in a long time because like that wasn't even enjoyable for me, to be honest, and I was kind of like waiting for it to become enjoyable, because I knew even before I'd smoked, like, your first cigarette isn't like good, like no one enjoys it. Like I already knew that was a thing. But once I was like a few packs into it, like I was expecting by that point for something to have happened, but like it just wasn't happening. And I was coughing more and more, like I'm more short of breath, like to this day. Like I probably did like permanent damage to my lungs and shit, and the thing I thought at the time is like, who cares? Cause like I still kind of feel that way, but if I don't even enjoy it, it's like with alcohol at least, like I'm more content when I'm drunk. Like I'm not happy, but I'm miserable when I'm sober, and I'm just normal when I'm drunk. But with smoking, it's like that's basically like killing yourself, like, and it for no reason, you know. Like it doesn't make me feel good at all when I'm smoking. So I gave that up a long time ago. I threw my cigarettes away. I have no fags at all now. I have no lighter. I gave that all up because I'm not doing that shit anymore. That's not even hard. It's not like NoFap or something where it's like it's a difficult thing to give up because I didn't even enjoy it, like I said. But drinking is the thing I'm kind of turning to be honest. And there's worse copes, like smoking. You know, there's worse copes. It would be better not to have to cope at all, I'd say, but my drink of choice, to be honest, I just like get, you know, beers. You can get a beer for like £4 here, which isn't bad. I've heard like much higher rates, but you know, depends. If you need to know the place, some places will rip you off. Some places you get up to £5-6 for a pint. Some places it's £1 is £1, by the way, if you didn't know. For you Yanks who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure people know what £1 is, to be honest, but I can't take these things for granted, I guess. I don't know, yeah, and I just go out drinking alone, basically, or stay home. I have a whole section in my fridge for like just drinks, where it's not even my fridge, it's like the shared fridge, and it's all just alcohol. And it's like, it's not even like, I don't know. Fuck me, man. I couldn't imagine being American, because like, you have to be, 21, and it's like, I'm not naive, like I know like people in America don't wait until they're 21 to drink, but I'm just saying, like, it'd be such a headache. Like I see all the trouble Chang and Jesse go through to try and get their hands on like weed and shit, because that's like not allowed technically or some shit, or I don't know what would even, like, how strictly enforced it is, but it's like all that headache for just alcohol, man. It's like I couldn't be arsed, man. I could not be fucking arsed for that shit, genuinely. Like I said, like the thing about alcohol is I just need it to be content now. Like most of the time when I study, when I work, I'm not like really drunk, but I have a drink or two basically all days, and I have like a drink in the morning and stuff. I don't know, like, if you have any like suggestions of like alcohol that, like, I don't like the taste of alcohol. I actually hate the taste of alcohol, to be honest. Like I think it's disgusting. Like I do have a hard time like holding my drinks down anyway. Like I am a lightweight, which is a good thing because I get drunk for cheap. But if you have any suggestions of like alcohol that will basically get you drunk quick and like it's cheap, like please do let me know. Yeah, I don't know, that's probably where I'm gonna go now. Actually, I'm probably gonna go down to the bar and just get some drinks, and that's it. That's my night. I don't know, like I just kind of forget about stuff. Like on the better nights they'll have like bands playing like some music, and most of the time it's not very good, but it's something, you know. That's probably where I'm gonna go now. So yeah, I'm gonna go.